Yeah. So I just posted that there was on the 31st, there was a Claude code leak when when one of the employees was like trying to commit code. Um, they leaked a part of the code itself, like it is not the full system. It obviously does not include future updates, future skills, or whatever. Like it is so to see somewhat of a like a snapshot from how far AI was basically in March. I think that's very interesting, and it's cool that like someone recoded, like changed the code via Codex and uploaded it on GitHub. The link is here. I will post it into our voice chat. Uh, employees did commit in a wrong way and accidentally published a part of the base. Okay, my sound seems hard. Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm sitting directly at the MacBook, so I will not be able to change anything. Um, it changed to my iPhone microphone. It's such a fucking bullshit. MacBook Pro. Is it now better?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah. Wow, crazy. Where's my iPhone micro? My iPhone is in a backpack and the screen is broken. And like I'm waiting for the new one. So it's crazy that you were able to hear me from that. Wow. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so what I just wanted to say in the very beginning, Solaris posted something very interesting like, that I figured also like 2 weeks ago. There was a leak from the Claude code because one of their developers, like it was a human error, one of the developers, while adjusting something in the code, but it's actually like not from the source code directly itself or directly with like everything that it has to offer. Like it was like from a part of the base code and he hit commit, but he committed it publicly. And someone from the AI space that was probably like scraping data permanently was immediately pulling that and used Codex to rewrite the code a little bit and publish it. And that's what you see here in the GitHub link. And it has 110K stars, whatever. So the positive thing about incidents like this is like number one, with this stuff, you do not share user data, obviously. Number two, I think everyone should also be well aware that no matter how much you like something, like we like just from a technical perspective, Claude is by far the most advanced AI. Something can also happen to OpenAI or to Google, to Google's Gemini, to Microsoft's Copilot. But what is just incredibly important and necessary to figure that same as with using Google Cloud or Apple Cloud or whatever, your data is somewhere else, and you always need to know which information you share with some advanced technology, especially in this case. But the great thing about leaks like this is like a theory that I have, and that is right now we all need to subscribe to Anthropic or to OpenAI. But at some point, we will all be able to simply use our own models. And when you use your own models, like it's a good question from Solaris. Was source mapped to their CLI? Yes. Well, so many people posting. I will just start sharing my screen. I hope you can see it. Wait, let me just check. Okay. Okay. Just let me know if you can see the screen. Exactly. So what I just said, this is here, Anthropic's Claude code. And as I said, it was not their entire source code. Shift, our developer and co-founder of AlphaBlock, backed me up here. He said was source mapped to the CLI. few people created newer open source versions based on it. Second time they have leaked their code. Yes, and at some point we will be running our own systems and not rely on big corp anymore, in my opinion. So in the end, that simply means that it will go more and more towards computing infrastructure, and that's why we invested so big into it. And I think that's very important, and that's the bottom line of this. So before covering the requested topic, like with the Strait of Hormuz, as well as a little bit about gold and oil, I will be jumping into the charts firstly, because now we just covered one of the topics that like affect everyone, also non-traders. Now I would go through everything that especially concerns traders. And then we can go over the other topics, because I think this is potentially a really cool flow for the streams in general, that like the first 10-15 minutes we have some chit chat, maybe talk about one topic, then we do the market analysis, and then in case someone only wants to see the market analysis, they can just stop and they do not have to listen to the geopolitical topics or whatever. So firstly, I would like to give a very positive update regarding the recent Bitcoin analysis. We are talking about a 4-to-1 risk reward trade. Currently, we already 3x the risk. You can see how far price developed. Now we are starting to get very close to the top of my ATR bands from the Cocoa Confluence indicator to the 50 and 100 EMA. And therefore, we would be slowly starting to scale into a head short at around 73, 74, 75 would be then the region where we're coiling together with the bands, which is why I have the stop loss at 78K, aiming for doubling the money of that we risk. After this trade, I would be, if we overcome this, I would definitely be flipping long like this. But otherwise, I think this is the play. So I'm simply extremely happy with how the trade is developing so far. Because I was short here once. I closed the short here. Like we had the long open, and we were just doing an intraday short. We did not become bearish or stay bearish or anything. We closed the short back down here again, relong beautifully, and you see how much it is worth to be fluent in the market, because if we would be holding the short still from 69K, that's bullshit. It was way smarter to take some profits to ride alongside, and now like when we re-short here, this is 7,000. This is like 10% higher. We are re-shorting with way more confidence, with way less risk. This is how to trade in my eyes. So let me quickly post it into the Alpha aggregator. Bitcoin trade update. Slowly starting to move into the territory that makes sense for re-shorting. Selling 5 to 10% of my spot bags over the weekend. Cool. Emilio, how about you guys stay in the Discord? I'll make sure to send you some Nova so you're verified, but I think it's cool if we just stay in each other's Discords. Next one, gold. Extremely interesting one. We talked about it that it was an absolute no-brainer to just buy some gold here at our support zone. Because every time gold goes down more than 10% in a week, like long term, it simply makes sense to buy it. That was proven right. I did not buy here. I don't think anyone of us bought here, but here in our box at the upper side of the box. So that is already plus 9%. I think that's nice. Just from a trend perspective, I could imagine this here to be first target, like major target, yeah. Here. First major take profit would be at like 5K, 5,000, 5,100. Because I think that's fair. You bought gold, you sell it for 15% increase, have a little bit of leverage in between, because here it could still be that we are potentially retracing again, depending on what's going to happen. I do not believe like this. I'm just showing you here in the FIBs. I cannot call this an actual top. I would not bank on a retrace to the golden pocket so drastically. Let's just check what happens if we draw the FIBs here. Yeah, that would be like the 0.69. I think that makes sense. And then we could like go down a little bit more. Okay. Yondo and Emilio, you can send me your wallets. I will send you some assets so you're verified in here. Like Solana wallets. Gold update. Up to Swift 9%. Spot. Looking for major take profit between 5,000, 5,200. Looking to reload if we see a higher low after the next retrace. Otherwise, just riding the position. Cool. Also positive. All you really need is your own model running, and then you can Claude CLI without a Claude subscription, as you can use your own models on it, get an unrestricted AI model, like when one hosts it on a VPS with Olama or something like that. Yeah, it's really cool because currently we're building here. We have a Claude team, and we have quite the projects that we have in the pipeline, like our own AlphaBlock authenticator, like all our models or like it will be subscription based to cover infrastructure costs. We will have our bots, the arbitrage bot, some software that we share, knowledge hub, everything in one dashboard. And so for this, you will be able to authenticate, Shift built the Xera XRP wallet. We are releasing a few tool cases also for IT development, infrastructure. We're spinning further our bank. We are already giving loans against our NFTs and stuff. Soft Reset is built by SAF, which is for especially personal and mindful self-improvement. We're going to improve the usage for Polymarket to find discrepancies in the market. Everything also tied to a way that everyone that's also not even developing himself will be able to earn up to 30% of all revenue. We're going to register AlphaBlock also as a company globally. We are going to rebuild Discord in case Discord will force KYC. So in the website, you will also have your own chat, which could also be expanded for, let's say, Infinite or other communities that we can have a chat without having to show our passport if Discord will ever become KYC. Arbitrage, but Coco Confluence, the indicator trading trading indicator and everything so that it filters only the best signals, and those signals you will receive as a text message, however you want it, be Telegram, Discord, or so on. All in one, including Discord verification for just $10 a month. I think that's super fair. This is not about making money off of this, because you cannot get rich off something like this. This is just so we can continue to pay the people that we hire, actually, and yeah, develop such systems. One of the most interesting charts, and I know that some people will always call me crazy for this or start arguing with me. I like Litecoin, and this is just a personal opinion. I do not endorse anyone to buy Litecoin himself. I am just saying that Litecoin is the first altcoin to have ever been created after the creation of Bitcoin. Same as Monero is the first ever real privacy coin that still to date. The only reason why you cannot trade Monero XMR on so many exchanges is because it's so private that it's actually forbidden in some governments to trade it. That's how good it is. So, but Litecoin is just the first altcoin, okay? And what I'm just saying is that we had this insane sell-off, okay? 46% sell-off just from here, not the whole market. Like, it's just down horrendously. This is not a sign for strength, okay? I know that. But ever since we built higher lows, okay? Just showing this to you here. Wait for the lows. I need to show the horizontal ray like this. Here was a low, the bottom. Then the next big sell-off already stopped here at the 49 level. You see 10% higher. Here the next one was at 51. Again, 4% higher. And this is what I am looking for. And one of the core reasons why I'm showing this to you is, like, obviously it must flip this level. It looks good that it flipped it here. My problem is just that I believe that Bitcoin is going to shit the bed within the next few weeks. So a lot of those altcoin setups, in my opinion, are like not like really only educational reason only, but like for you to hone your skills, test a bit, do the charts, just look at this, okay? And there's also like this cluster here of the signals. It got more and more. You have the higher lows, you build the base here, and this is the point of control. So there is a good and nice chance that there is a good and nice chance that if this stays flipped, okay, that you can, I would not want us to lose this, yeah. Like, this would be like the big first TP, but like I would actually go for something like this. Yeah. And I think that's doable, right? Like, no matter what happens, or when Bitcoin crashes, if Bitcoin goes a little bit sideways, I think you can make Coco. Coco just jumped on me. I need to let the cat out one moment. So, GM. So I do believe that this is a nice 10% upside move potentially. I can remove this and this so the chart is cleaner. So I think that something like this is legit. I still do believe that from somewhere like here we will retest this, and then it comes out, right? Like the thesis that maybe Bitcoin goes below 60K. In that case, this setup will be gone. But no matter how low we go, like at some point the bear market will end. And I'm just saying, like, this is what I am on a macro looking out for. Okay, like just something like this. Okay, over time, yeah. But the first setup, that's why I painted it in, yeah. So we'll just post it in the aggregator. Only the play from $55 to $60 is currently valid, as I believe that Bitcoin will go below 60,000 at some point. But macro-wise, I do believe that Litecoin is an easy way to make multiply money through the bull run. Okay. Yeah. Quick look at Google.
Hello.
Absolutely amazing. GM.
GM. I just wanted to ask you a quick question, if I can.
Yeah, of course, bro. Always.
Like, I have plenty of long positions open right now. All are in profit, and I'm thinking about closing them all and having just a peaceful weekend.
That sounds amazing, bro. I would at least put the stop loss right now while you're speaking, at least tiny bit in profit and immediately take 50% profits and then
So
continue
you
thinking.
think we can pump from here more?
As I have been, you see this chart?
Yeah.
This is just what, like, you see that it's super close, that I believe, like, I'm super close to scaling into short slowly.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I'm seeing is I wouldn't rule out for full TP to be hit.
Am I the
Okay,
only
like,
one that doesn't listen to Umba's reply?
huh? What? Did someone say something?
Not sure about that, mate. I think it was some automated computer message or something.
Okay. Yeah, just to answer Antti your question, I would easily take 50 or 75% profits off your longs. Like that's what I did. I would, if you have a remaining position, put the stop loss into profit. And I was just showing that I still think that it's valid that the full take profit could be hit. But you see, like also from what I said, I'm slowly scaling myself into short. So if you have such a fucking sick trading streak as you have right now, and in stream you have the luxury to ask like, hey bro, I have several profitable longs after we had such a long run, and enjoy a nice weekend, bro. Like take profits, take 80% profits, 90% profits, put stop loss at break even at the rest, so you just have something small to look at that can help you indicate when you want to flip short. But bro, really well done for the last 2 months or so. All your posts, all your analysis, everything is just working out greatly. Like, where was that in Alpha Chat? Let me just here, Antti, today, 2 hours ago. FYI, Rave could be a nice short. 20 minutes later, thank you, Antti. 4% move to the downside.
Like
Even
this fucking shitcoin moved. It was so volatile. I catched two successful shorts on that, and after all, it dumped under $1.3. So yeah, like it could be better played, but still decent.
I just think it's remarkable because I've always seen the talent in you, and I know when you started and how transparent you were always with the performance, with the good streaks and with the bad streaks, and you're just crushing it, and you can see it in real time, and I just liked it. Chad. GM Matty, nice to see you as well.
Yeah, GM, brother. Got about half an hour's worth of time to hang out and chill. Got
Nice.
kickboxing tonight, so
Perfect, because that's like the remainder of time that we have left. So also for everyone that would watch the recording from that point, just a quick roundup. We were firstly talking a little bit about what we had in the alpha chat, like that there was 11 days ago, there was a little Claude CLI code leak, towards the CLI, the source map to their CLI, and therefore, like, just some people started more and more to like build their own infrastructure. I think that's also where we're headed towards, also with AlphaBlock throughout the next. I believe we will have our Claude team for like half a year, and then we will move on to our own AI infrastructure, which I think is way cooler because you could host that stuff yourself for like half the cost. So we could allow even more people into it, which is amazing. Then we covered some trades that I then also posted in the aggregator. Like, also really big shout out to Matty, to Kilian, besides Antti, and also to Kali Treeman, because like the analysis and the outcomes of the trades have been so accurate the past week. It's crazy. And so I've just updated like that. I think that the longs are really playing out nicely, slowly scaling out of them, thinking about shorts throughout the weekend. Gold is up 9% from the area where we bought. Litecoin flipped the POC in a bullish way, so maybe it can go up a few more percent before everything goes down. Google recovered nicely. SanDisk is up tremendously. AMD is up tremendously. It was such a nice week for good assets. And yes, oil had 2 days ago a minus 18% day and basically fully recovered. It moves already up 15% off the lows again. All this sounds so nice and so good. The thing is just that we are in an insane geopolitical situation, and I will just what I know from currently cover is that was a request to maybe also speak about something regarding like the Strait of Hormuz. The thing is, obviously, nothing of the opinion that I voice or any one of us, because I want this to be like just a discussion or that we can speak about those things. None of this is a religious or political side, or no matter how extreme anything sounds that anyone will ever voice in our chats. This is just banter. This is just talking. Obviously, no one of us is an expert. One thing that is like, there is nothing positive, about that situation. But one thing that is just highlighting a use case of crypto, as you say, want to see it, but like it could always be displayed depending on the media. That is covering something is that back then they said, Bitcoin is only for the darknet, so you can hire serial killers, order guns and drugs. But why did they say this? Because the government cannot keep the hand on your Bitcoin unless they have you physically, okay? And so regarding the Strait of Hormuz, it's, as far as I am concerned right now, it's not open right now. The Strait of Hormuz is not open. Access is being restricted, conditioned, and controlled. So, but now the big thing is that Iran has made clear through both its statements and actions that passage is subject to permission, conditions, and political leverage. That is not freedom of navigation, that is coercion, as per CNBC. So what is a really big situation about this is that Donald Trump has made it clear very often that there is a ceasefire, markets react, then they say, oh, we did not agree to a ceasefire. And then he said, okay, Iran, you have 48 hours to listen to what I say, or I will bomb Iran so much that you will not recognize your country anymore. The deadline is over for a few days, and not so much happened. Like, of course, something happened, but not what he said will happen. And now, one big thing regarding crypto, and that is Iran is demanding $1 per barrel of oil aboard each ship paid in cryptocurrency as a toll. And this is really crazy because in my perspective, like, the fact that they want crypto basically underlines that it is still immutable, because otherwise they would just say, hey, you can send us US dollars, right? And so therefore it's genuinely one of the most surreal geopolitical developments in crypto history. A sanctioned theocratic regime under US military pressure deciding that the solution to getting paid for controlling the world's most important oil checkpoint is a crypto invoice. The dark irony is that it actually makes perfect sense from their perspective, like just from their perspective, okay, because the dollar denominated payments go through SWIFT, which they are cut off from. So a lot of those topics, and like with SWIFT and all those developments as a transfer system, I had a lot to do with that, because when I actually did my degree as an IT specialist, I did it in a software house that did core banking solutions for private banks. And I know that still a few years ago that there were actually people hired that were still checking the cash flow, the SWIFT payments through the private banks above a certain threshold of money. And there was still a human that can still say also today, no, this money is not getting sent. And one of the crazier things about that overregulation is obviously that by cutting a country like Iran, or I also think Russia, out of SWIFT as an example, so they cannot participate in those normal financial markets, what you are doing by that is, number one, of course, you can hurt them, you can sanction them, and maybe it's just bad for them at the beginning. But what is happening then is that the only thing that they can do is to accept Bitcoin or Monero or something, right? So there's always two coins to decide, because as long as you include someone in your financial system, you can at least trace the cash flow. As soon as the person or the entity or the country, a jurisdiction, is out of your financial system, they are rotating towards another financial system, here now crypto, where you can control nothing. You cannot sanction that, you cannot take their Bitcoin. And this is crazy. So this is like the only thing that I can say to this geopolitical drama, sadness, however you want to call it. I think almost every war is unnecessary, but the way humanity has been accumulating wars lately is insane. And the fact that so much of the wars is just like empty words posted on Twitter, costing people their livelihood, also not okay. The bombs are way worse, but I think it's just interesting. Yeah, Matty says short, it's 73k entry. Really, really nice market movements right now. I think that I will, in fact, I will join scaling into shorts. Definitely. So, Matty, what do you say? What do you think? What do you think about the markets? You are fully out of longs. You are scaling into short.
Yeah, so it's going to be probably a little bit of an entry here at 73k. I mean, I'm seeing, there's huge bit of resistance, probably between 74.2 and 75. So that might be worth looking at for, like you say, scaling into. I don't think throwing, if you're going to put 10% of your portfolio or whatever into a short, don't throw all 10% in now. Put 1% in and then another 1%, build into this short slowly, because like you've literally just said, with all the political stuff going on at the minute, it's just, the market's very choppy. I mean, each pump, we're getting something like, what's this here? We're getting another a 3% drawdown.
Yeah.
And then it's going up 5% or 6% there. Then it's drawing down another 3%. Then it's pumping 4%. So, I mean, it's going to come to a point where, buyers are going to get exhausted, in my opinion. And I think we are going to head down for final low. I mean, it's hard to say where that's going to be, really, isn't it? It's going to be anywhere between 55 and 60. I mean, I don't think we're going to go any lower, but ultimately, who knows? But I think 73 is a good area to start scaling into, like you've just explained as well. It's been pushing up, like you said earlier as well, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows.
Yeah, especially since we were really flipping long. Like we really flipped long after like shorting that market. I think this is so fair, right? Like, and this is nice about being in control of that. Let's just call it like that. Not like two big words or like patting the backs or so, but it's important being fluent. Also now, Anti, like literally, it happened. What I said, like you will be happy if your stop loss is in profit, since you have a good trade. Maybe take 50%, maybe 80%. You still have a moon runner. Now market pumped again. Now you can take again 50% of what's left, and then just close it out. But this way you were able to squeeze a little bit more, because only because another example. Now Matty and myself think like, okay, cool, we're starting to scale into shorts. When we say like we're scaling into shorts, that literally, why are we not 100% in a position? Because we literally believe that price can easily go up a few more percent. I scaled into shorts. I'm now fully out of longs. I will sell a little bit of spot, and the USDT and USDC that I then get from selling some spot, I will literally add as a margin to create new fresh swing trades that where the margin is based off of riding those longs. And right now I'm like $50 underwater immediately. Part of the game. It's part of the game. And if you are risking a few grand with a trading idea, then it will be also normal when you're scaling into a position that at some point you are a few $100 underwater. This is fully normal. This is fully normal, obviously. And if this stop loss hits, then okay, may have given back some of the profits, but we relonged after closing the shorts at 67K. Now longed until 72K. If you're now scaling into a short, it's 73K and it goes to 75K. So what? Like then you will survive it. But the only thing that would have been really horrible is holding the short at 66K and now it's at 72K, 73K. That would be horrible. But even if this idea to reshort a little bit is wrong, so what? But yeah, I really like the chart that Matty posted. The stop loss at 75K. So you give.
So just to touch on the point that you were saying then, I think I've only recently started using sort of like the scaling into positions strategy, and I think it's ultra important really, because there's nothing worse than doing all the technical analysis in the world, and you could be amazing, you see levels, and then all of a sudden it goes 4% out of range, and you're sat underwater, with so much of a loss. But if you slowly scale into a trade, then your unrealized loss is so much less. And I think what's just as important as well is the mental aspect as well. If you're $50 underwater, it's much better mentally for your technical analysis and your trading than being $300 or $400 underwater, because you went balls to the wall straight away, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like that's what I meant. Like I can happily post this in here to just show, like while we were talking, I was marketing into my first layers. Obviously, my released negative P&L is the trading fees that because what I'm doing is also to get a better price. Is I sometimes close like 50% of my position that like you can scalp while being in a loss. Like
Yes.
my loss is already like minus $40. Then if I think, oh shit, I think this will go $200 higher Bitcoin, then I quickly market close half of the short, and at the same size at a better price, boom! Now I'm down $50 while we are talking. I'm not risking an insane amount. It's just a small 5-digit position. So right now I'm like at 12,000 short. If everything will get filled from this position, then this will be 30, 40, $50,000 size. Because we're heading into the weekend, so I'm not trading hundreds of thousands in position size, especially to the short side. But this is it. So we made a few $100 maybe today. So my threshold is that today I would eat up to whatever, like $300 losses maybe. Tomorrow, so that like over the course of scaling into a weekend, I do not want to lose more than $1,000. Like let's say I'm wrong on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I will not sit down with my family on Sunday evening knowing that I just burnt $1,000. So
Yes.
this is also like the transparency to this. Like as you said, I'm fully like you see like but this allows me to like just clip 10K into it or 15K into it because the price is good right now. Boy, would
Yeah.
we feel horrible if we would have this short open from 10% lower. What are you doing? Are you like praying to God for the next 3 weeks that price is going to reverse? If my idea is wrong, I want to get out and I want to flip long. But if I flip long at 75K to 80K and then we reshort with 3x the size as 80K and a stop at 90K, life is way better. Like you're fully right, bro.
Yeah, and I think it boils down to just a simple word, and that is patience. And I think you forget, well, maybe just in general, that there's always tomorrow. It's not. You don't need to do everything today, and I know it's a process, and we're all here to learn along the way. But just be patient, and it will come. And it is sometimes just as simple as that. And I know there's a lot of technicals and everything that you learn along the way, and it's hard to put it into words. But sometimes it just boils down to just be bloody patient.
Right on. And this is something that you really must have. This combination of passion and patience. I think this is like literally the only thing, because if you can show patience, then that means that you can let your ego aside, because this is the killer. Like thinking that you must make money today because you are I will be right on this trade, and this is why I'm only using 1x leverage, and eventually the market will turn around. Cool, bro. So you were right in the end, but you held a losing position for 3 months. Like, obviously, we are not talking about buying spot and waiting for a year. Obviously, if you have a spot play, then you must wait. But we're like, this is about trading, obviously. And I think the last few weeks, the last 2 weeks, to be precise, were probably the best testament to this idea. Like I will quickly share my screen one more time. Here. So you see this. So on the 7th of April, we were talking about shorts are looking well, taking 50% profits, riding the rest to reshort bounces. Then 10 hours later said buying Litecoin, Monero, Lit, Astro Hype as the exchanges, Doge, Bitcoin here for a nice bounce across the board. As we then said, hey, I think it is time to flip long here, 67K, flipped long, bought across the board, posted also the Litecoin setup. Litecoin is also up 8%. Full transparency, happy I closed shorts at 66K and long to 71K. Now we are in this position. We just talked live on stream. Maybe a little bit more upside is possible. 10 minutes later, I can read Matty to say like, hey, huge bounce, 73K entry for a short. seems good. And funnily, right, like it was kind of better, or it was a good idea to just wait until everything plays out. There was a reason why the short trade was placed here. There was a reason why full TP is below this. We did not get greedy. We're just talking about this. And if we go into the next stream and the coins just pumped without any retrace, so probably if this is a strong move, we would be scaling out a little bit out of the shorts, probably around here. Like then you would be aiming for a higher low if anything positive is about this move, right? So let's say this short currently would play out, then the next long or scaling out of the shorts and flipping long would then be somewhat again like somewhere around like 70k, and then we could trade to the other side again. Yeah, but for now this looks just like it's playing out in the same way. If we just blast through, we will probably also post something in the aggregator or so, or in the Discord in general, that we do believe that shorting right now is the wrong idea, and then there's also no shame in there. Zero. Matty, are you able to share your screen, or do you want to maybe share what you're cooking up in a week, or what would be your idea?
Yeah, so I can't. Well, I mean, I can, but I'm not on PC at the minute, so just on mobile.
I mean, you can also write something and post it in a Wolf Play or so, just so.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Like I say, I've got kickboxing in 5 minutes, so
Yeah.
but I'll definitely post something. What's going to be my ideas over the next sort of like maybe week or so, and give someone some thoughts and chatting ideas really. But yeah, I mean most of my trading's done on just pure instinct and sort of. But it is good to look into the future and sort of like predict, because I think you get better than at real time trading. I've seen a lot of your screenshots and can see why.
Yeah, thank you so
no
much.
problem.
Thank you so much for taking the time. Ante, do you have something? Do you have a chart to share maybe?
Me?
Or are you just happy anti-chat trader that took profits and is enjoying the
Like
weekend?
I closed all the position at this pump over 73k, and I will
Nice.
be just chilling. I placed an short entry at BTC at 73.460, and if it will hit, it will hit. If it won't, it won't.
Okay, that's solid. Congrats on the trade, bro. Like really well played. Nice to hear your voice on stream, and maybe you can figure something that would be cool. Like we were like looking into something that we can play together or as a community or with Shift myself. I would have some time on Sunday and Monday, so let me know. Maybe I download something on the PC. Would be fun. Hang a bit
Like
in the
we
VC.
can just hang out while playing League. That's always a good idea. We can all, like, if we will get more than 5 people, we can divide into 2 teams and play against each other. That would
Yeah,
be
I would
also
be down
fun.
for some league. Yeah, defo. Yeah,
So yeah.
good idea. Yeah, let's maybe just chat later if we spin something up
Yeah,
for
sure.
Monday. Okay. Cool. Yeah, then thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. There was a nice tight hour for this stream. and enjoy the weekend. Catch you soon. Bye bye. Thank you for recording, Don.
Yeah, thanks, guys.